Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, thank you. Well, thank you so much, Iowa. I am so honored to be here. Thank you. Thank you. Iowa, thank you. Great to be in the Hawkeye State. And happy Constitution Day to you all. You know, it's National POW MIA Day today, too. I'm going to ask you, Iowa, do you love your freedom? Aren't you proud to be an American? If you love your freedom, then we thank a vet. And I would ask anyone who has served the United States in military in the past or presently serving, if you could stand up, we're going to salute you and honor you. Thank you, veterans. God bless you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We do thank you and we honor you. Well, I wanted to get out today in your most beautiful state and enjoy this gorgeous weather. So I put on the running shoes and looked for my Hawkeyes t-shirt and my Cyclones cap, showing love to the home teams. Lacing up the shoes, and Todd says, you may want to just run downstairs in the hotel, in the treadmill on that. And I'm saying, ooh, the treadmill, it's kind of like being in a box. I said, Todd, it's gorgeous out there. I want to go out and see the view in the heartland, and it's warm. And I just last week been caribou hunting up in near Anwar, where it was about 16 degrees. I want to go thaw out. I want to get outside and see Iowa. And Todd says, I don't know. I think you should go downstairs, run on that treadmill. And I said, why would I want to stay indoors? Todd says, because I guarantee you, if anybody spots you in the tennis shoes, the headline's going to be Vanity Fair. They're going to say, Palin in Iowa decides to run. Oh, I did run outside the box. It is just so great to be with Patriots here today. As mentioned, Terry Branstad here today. I know Iowa appreciates his good work as governor, and personally, I am grateful for his efforts as chairman of the Commission for Excellence in Special Education, and I appreciate that leadership. Because of him and others who care about our special children, our country can become a more welcoming place for these beautiful special children, those whom we can learn so much from. In fact, I'm convinced we can learn more from these kids than they're ever going to learn from us. So on behalf of those families, of those with special children, and someday I hope my son is big enough and strong enough to get to shake your next governor's hand, Terry Branstad's. So Terry was at a town hall meeting when he got the call that I'd endorsed him. No big darn deal, no big deal. But he gets this call, and immediately after the announcement, a real clever Iowan in the crowd, this gal, she says, well, Terry, does that mean then that you will endorse her? And he got it right. He told the crowd, you know, we need to stay focused on this election, not the next one. And I said, yeah, I always try that too, to pivot out of the answer that, you know. But he is right. He is right. Truly, we can't wait until 2012 to get our country back on the right track. We need to start now by electing strong leaders who aren't afraid to shake it up, to rein in the federal government. It's time for no more business as usual. It is time to take our country back. So how do we do this? Got to elect leaders who respect we the people, like Chuck Grassley. We need him back in the United States Senate. Senator Grassley has a special place in my heart. He's the only guy I know who loves to Twitter as much as I do, for one. Today's his 77th birthday, or as Reagan would say, it's the 38th anniversary of his 39th birthday, so happy anniversary, Chuck. Senator Grassley hasn't forgotten where he's from and who he represents, understanding that government is supposed to work for the American people, not the other way around. And that's why he stood strong against that mother of all unfunded mandates, Obamacare. He's refuting the lies in its claims, and he's promising to repeal and replace this scheme with common sense reform. Folks like your senator and your congressman, Latham and King, they're holding the line on federal spending and government overreach in Washington. They're out there doing this for us in D.C., so it's here in our states that we need that help too. Here in the states, it's the attorneys general who have continued the fight. We need strong, principled leaders in these AG offices, public servants who respect our Constitution, who will protect states' rights, and who know the 10th Amendment. That's why I'm supporting Brenna Finley for AG and Kim Reynolds for Lieutenant Governor in Iowa. You are good people, Iowa. Iowa and all across the great U.S. We have some great common sense conservatives who are putting it all on the line, these candidates and their supporters, fighting for what is right, and a lot of them just fought some tough primary battles. That's good. Contested primaries are good. It's good for the system, it's great for voters. Democracy at work. Competition is good. Healthy competition breeds success, and it makes us all work harder, and this all reveals character. But the time for primary debate is over. It's time for unity now. That's the time upon us, because the time for choosing is near. In just 46 days, Republicans will put their ideas and their experience on the line, and they'll let the voters decide. It is time to unite. If the goal really is to take away the gavel from Pelosi and Reid, and to stop the Obama agenda and make government respect the will of the people and the wisdom of the people, then it is time to unite. And congratulations to the primary voters and to the primary victors. Now, unsuccessful GOP campaigns and deflated political pundits, remember, attitudes are contagious, so make sure yours are worth catching. Just quick woodshed moment. I think that's just what moms kind of gotta do, and mama grizzlies, but I'll try not to growl, okay? But unsuccessful campaigns and expert beltway pundits all bent out of shape right now after some recent primary battles. I gotta ask, did you ever lose a big game growing up? You know, I've lost, and I've lost games, races, reputation. You lose some, you win some. When faced with challenges, when faced with setbacks, I know growing up, my folks would say, show grace, reveal character. Well, my mom would say that. My dad was more along the lines of the don't retreat, just reload. That was my dad. Either way, it's for the sake of our country, for America's future, true patriots. Reload with character and truth and helpful efforts to restore what's right about America and what will work for America. We need elected leaders in our republic to do that. So let us unite. Primary voters have spoken. Now, I don't know how the machine works. I don't really know who they are, who strategize and organize up in that hierarchy in a GOP machine or in the Democrats machine. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to know or need to know, because I think some of those experts were the ones who were wrong in Massachusetts and Virginia and New Jersey and Delaware and Alaska and Kentucky. So I don't know who organizes the efforts that is needed to put obsessive partisanship aside when it gets in the way of just doing what's right for the American people, and those internal power struggles that need to be set aside for the good of the order. But if I were king, more like it if I were a coach, and if I were a coach writing a playbook, I'd say, look, everyone has constructive roles in this. The needs are great heading into these midterm elections because the cause is so great. The cause? the great awakening of America and the needs, truth in America. How do we get out there? How do we get the message out there to the voters? Practical ways. One, we got to raise funds. We've got to knock on doors. We've got to hold the press accountable when you know that they're making things up and telling untruths. We've got to do this together. And by the way, I am the biggest proponent of freedom of the press in this country. Our young men and women in uniform, willing to fight and die for our constitutional rights, including that right to that free press. It's why I am hot on this lamestream media issue. It's why I'm adamant that they tell the truth. How dare anyone disrespect our troops' sacrifice by claiming the right to print and to say anything without a corresponding responsibility to truth? And in this kind of strange, unaccountable day of anyone and everyone getting to claim that they are a journalist, you got to ask yourself, who are they really? When the media uses, say on Deep Deep Background, anonymous sources, to cowardly attack someone, their record, their intentions. First, remember that these sources, if they ever even really exist, first, remember that they are cowards. Usually in some self-preservation mode, striving for personal power. And the journalists perpetuating the problem, the untruths, they are gutless. They erode our faith in this once proud bedrock of our democracy, America's free press.